Well, hello, everyone. David Nuno here. TexAgs Rewind presented by Yeti. Troubadour Festival coming up on May 20th. We got Chase Colston, co-owner and promoter, Matt Lowry from LJ's in Brenham. LJ's Barbecue. Gentlemen, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Glad to be here.
So, on the Rewind, by the way, we had these guys in studio. That's why they're doing the Rewind with me. What is the Troubadour Festival? Do you even know? Oh, you know.
It's hard to explain it. Well, I mean, it's not really hard to explain, I guess, but it's, we're just the...
He's the founder, by the way, so he knows.
Something like that. Yeah, we're kind of a two-part festival. We're a barbecue festival, we're a music festival, and we just kind of put them together just to create one all-around barbecue music experience is what we like to call it, just showcasing the best Texas has in both areas.
And you're bringing some barbecue.
Absolutely.
You brought me some barbecue.
We did, David. Yes, sir.
I'm about to grub out, yo. I'm sorry. Sorry for getting ghetto on you, but this is what we did on the show. We talked about the Aggie defense, what it looked like, what it's going to look like this upcoming season. The Baseball Bunch, huge series against Alabama. Broke it all down with those guys. We had a wide receiver, we as in Texas A&M, in the portal. That was good. Billy Liucci joined us. All that and more next on the Rewind. And this, I know, is an interesting, difficult, because we don't know the too deep. We don't know. This is more like kind of a projection of how you could see things playing out.
Educated guess.
Right. And with as many talented guys on the defensive line, by the way, this could be and by the way, when you get to offense, that could be a juggle as well. So
I think one of the biggest brain teasers, if you want to just challenge somebody, anybody listen to me, I came in here, hey, Billy, hey, Ryan, hey, David, tell me what you would guess would be the starting defensive line, go end to tackle, tackle to end for A&M.
Well, I think the same thing you wrote, honestly.
Okay.
I do believe that. I think you got Fidel absolutely as your starter at defensive end. I think you've got McKinley coming back.
Okay.
I think you've got Walter Nolan. Yeah, there's the projected lineup out there. Let's see.
So there's your two tackles.
Yeah. Shamar Turner. Shamar Stewart.
Shamar Stewart.
Yeah. Like one of those two guys, right?
Yeah, but where? Because are one of them better as a tackle? I mean,
but doesn't this sound like a great problem to have?
It's a tremendous problem to have. And, we're not even talking about David Hicks.
He's going to find his way on the field.
Malik Sela.
Oh, my gosh. Keep going, please.
Well, I can.
Gabriel Brownlow-Dindy.
Hello. Regis played pretty well with him.
He did.
So you...
E.N.I. White, Albert Regis.
It is a embarrassment of riches. Now.
Hold on. I got to say one more. LT Overton.
Of course. See, there's so many.
Wait. Isaiah Rakes. We didn't say him.
That's the point. There's so many, and they're really good. But last year, there was a lot of injuries, McKinley Jacks, Fidel Diggs, and there was a lot of inexperienced freshmen all over the place.
Yeah.
Now you're thinking you're going to be healthy, and you've got experience and a year of growth, physical and mental growth. I think that defensive line will be one of the best in the SEC, in the nation.
Yep.
If you're one of the best in the SEC, you're one of the best in the nation. So we saw, I don't know if you saw this, somebody ranked the top 10 cornerback pairings in the country, and they put A&M number 10.
Man, every week there's just so much on the line.
And next week, the final week, Ole Miss at Alabama, Arkansas Vandy, Missouri at Auburn, Florida at Kentucky, LSU at Georgia, A&M Mississippi State, and Tennessee South Carolina. It's not like all these teams are looking and seeing, wow, what is this remaining schedule?
Well, what if Tennessee, I think they'll win 2 of their final 6 to get to 14, which probably makes them safe. But they've been swept this year.
Yes.
What happens if they get a sweep and then they lose a series? They go 1-5. Like, Tennessee is not out of the woods yet at 12-12. There's still, as much baseball has been played, there's still so much more that can happen.
So you get swept this weekend, you're forced to sweep next weekend. You win 1, you got to win 2 of 3 next weekend. And if you sweep this weekend, you still need to go and take care of business, because then you change your trajectory potentially in your seeding.
Well, yeah, obviously, if you don't get to 14, you've got no shot at getting in the postseason. I think the RPI will suffer enough at 13 and 17. Scotty, I don't think they've got a chance to get in. Their strength of schedule is really good. Their RPI is good enough, but I think it's good enough if you get to 14. Now, you're at 11 now. Like, the top end is obviously 17 and 13. The bottom end is 11 and 19. The top end, if you get to –
Can you host?
I don't know.
It
You're
de-
right
it would
back-
depend. It would depend
no,
what you're doing.
Yeah.
But you'd be in the conversation though.
Yeah. You've been played your way right back
Well,
into it.
because we just had Kentucky up there. We had Tennessee up there.
Yeah.
Those are potential host sites.
Yep.
Then you go from being in this log jam with Georgia, Auburn, and Alabama into being in a log jam in another spot.
Look, it's highly likely that this is the final, very highly likely this is the final weekend of baseball at Olsen Field this year.
So go support.
Right. But 15-15 is the goal. Like no question you're getting in at 15-15. 14-16, you'd feel pretty good about.
Ja'Day All-Day
Yeah.
Walker. Big guy that they picked up, big wide receiver. Was it 6'2", 200 pounds? 6'4", excuse me, 200 pounds. Guy can go over the top.
Yeah.
Just your thoughts on that.
Well, look, I love them adding size on the outside. Of course, we know all about Noah Thomas and what he did this spring, and just how excited they've been about it. I had an interesting conversation with Kendrick Rogers about Noah yesterday, and speaking of 6'4" on the outside, and there's a guy that made some real plays for A&M during his time here, but they need more than you need more than one. You know, if you saw Noah Thomas get banged up in the spring game, and then where's your size at receiver after that? There's virtually none. Size. I mean, we know it's not like Evan Stewart's tiny, and we know what Moose and Anais can do, but you've got to have size on the perimeter in this league, and that's why you look at so many of these receivers, several of whom they did not get in the portal. You can see that size on the perimeter was an absolute priority for not only Jimbo Fisher, but I'm sure Bobby Petrino came in and quickly realized that as well. And so to add a guy like this, I know it's a lower level, but man, you watch his tape, averaging more than 20 yards a catch. I thought he was, he's first team all conference big, and he's a legit guy.
I mean, how do you see Connor when you look at the layout of SEC quarterbacks?
Connor's a tough one. Connor's a tough one because he's played so little, and you can't throw out the Auburn game as much as I want to because I watched him all through high school, and I saw him against Ole Miss and LSU, and I think he's so much better. Or put it this way, I think he has the potential to be so much better than what he showed even in those two games. We saw those throws to Moose. People forget early in the game, Connor was dealing.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him run when he needed to run, outrun LSU defenders to the sticks for first down. Saw him take that vicious hit against Ole Miss and come back and throw a touchdown a play or two later. Like, I saw him revive what had been, and again, I know what A-Chain did in that game against LSU, and I know what the O-line did in that game where they were so much better. And people forget that, by the way, too, when you're trying to be excited about next year and you feel like you need to verbalize every 2 seconds how worried you are about the O-line. I'm right there with you. But you don't throw out what they looked like the last time they took the field against a good LSU team. But with Connor, I just think he's got so much more in him than what we've even seen. But I think you also have to look back, and I do throw out UMass. And by the way, he killed them with his legs. He ran for a lot of yards in that game in a down four. But I just look at him and I go, his upside is to be in a everything you just said, David. It is a weak year at quarterback in this conference. It is as weak as I've ever seen since 2012.
All right, that's going to do it for TexAgs Rewind. Matt and Chase, what do the people do after they watch a YouTube video? This is easy. What do they do? Do you ever watch YouTube videos?
Of course.
Yeah.
All right, so what do they tell the people to do? You don't know, do you?
Go to the website.
Like,
Share, comment,
Subscribe.
And share.
There we go.
Subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
yeah, like,
Come
comment, subscribe, share, tell your grandma all about it. We'll see you next time on The Rewind.